It's an involved process, but I have some I haven't wrapped yet. These I just wrapped yesterday, and then you have to clip them open and profile them down more. Cane used to make bassoon reeds grows like cane in your garden in a large tube. And when you purchase it for playing bassoon or oboe, it's special cane that's grown usually in Italy, France, that sort of area. And when you buy the tube cane, it's split, and then inside is gouged out, and then profiled on a machine that takes off the middle part of the tube. I buy it already split and gouged out and with the profiling done, just simply because I don't have time to do all of those things myself. So when I buy this piece of cane, I soak it, I work on it so that when it bends it doesn't crack, and I fold it, and I put it together like this with a wire and let it sit for 2 or 3 days to dry out completely and to form to a much smaller tube than it in nature would normally be. Then after that I form it even further, and I tie it off with the string, and then I glue it so that it can be soaked and dried many times when I play it. And I clip the tip and I form it to make whatever piece I'm playing. Depends on what you're working on, what kind of reed you need. And not every reed that you spend so much time on is good. And once you decide on the few that you're using, then you have to hope that the weather doesn't change too much, because every time the weather changes is a plant. And this changes as well, along with your instrument, which is also wood. So working on a solo, or any part that, even things that are not solos, lots of things that I play are making somebody else's solo sound good. That's a big part of working on it as a bassoon player. You don't have all the big, huge solos. You do sometimes. When I get a bassoon part, I look at it, scan it, study the score. I listen, obviously. But then the work starts, which is picking out learning all the technical things, obviously, but then finding out where are those crucial points where either I have a solo or I'm just under somebody else that has a solo. Quite often, I play parts on the piano, I record them, and I play along, where I play the melody in whatever instrument, and then I practice the harmony underneath it. Or the other way around, I play the harmony on the piano and I practice my solo above it. Because I find that you can easily be surprised in the pit, because what you hear on a recording is not what you hear from where you're sitting. Oftentimes, important parts are very hard to hear because of where I'm sitting or who's sitting around me playing at the same time. So it's very important when I'm studying the score that I do that on a very particular basis. And I found a very interesting article talking about Strawinsky's heritage in Russia and some of the instruments that he was familiar with, folk instruments. One of the ones that in the article mentions about in relationship to the bassoon and bassoon solos is called the dudka. And when you look it up on the internet, it's a wooden, sort of a shepherd's flute, but it has 2 pipes that you blow into at the same time. So it has a very woody, dark sound. So I found that very interesting to think that might be behind some of the, for example, the lullaby in Firebird at home when he wrote this. Firebird, he was very young, and those influences from home would have been very fresh in his mind. Well, but the particular sound of the bassoon, I wish I could ask him. Interesting in all of Stravinsky's music is the great, how he expanded the use of the bassoon, in the sense that there are very many solos, if you think about the octet, or you think about the Symphony of Psalms, or Petrushka, where not only the high register was expanded and used in very many solos, but also the lower register, and lots of articulation and lots of very technical stuff in the low register, particularly in the octet, if you think about that. And I think that's we owe him great debt of gratitude for that, because what the bassoon is used for in contemporary music to now is very much reflected in the fact that he was a century ago expanded everything that we are asked to do, and therefore what we can do. Zoals ik al gezegd heb, spelen in de orkestbak is soms erg moeilijk. En iedereen heeft zijn eigen routine. Dat is dat, ik kom altijd heel vroeg, en daar voel ik comfortabel. Ik kom altijd heel vroeg en ik speel achter. Niet in de bak, maar achter speel ik altijd de tomeladers en dat soort dingen. En ik kijk naar alle rieten. Kijk welke werkt, welke niet. En dan als ik de bak inkom, dan ben ik al klaar. En dan kan ik zitten en kan ik kiezen. Welke van deze werkt vandaag, wat werkt voor die avond. En dat is voor mij belangrijk dat ik kan goed focussen voor de hele avond.